What's up, man? What what is going on, everybody? What's up, man? How's it going, buddy? How you doing today? Hopefully everything is good with you. I don't know. This is the first time I'm gonna try this content, man. It's hard to play the game and communicate with people. I kind of miss doing the podcast a little bit, so I've kind of wanted to bring some of that format back. So, as always, meh, welcome to the King's Court.
Welcome to the King's Court. Have a seat at the table and enjoy the show.
I wanted to go over some videos, some questions, and some posts and all that good stuff. So, I'm just gonna start by viewing some stuff, I guess. I wonder if it's gonna give me copywritten. Let's go back to the beginning on this. Let's see what happens. Lee Sin's going into the enemy jungle for an invade, it looks like. Galio pops out. Uh-oh. Can he make it out? What's he doing? Just playing cat and mouse with everybody. He lands the Q. Oh, he misses the Q. Oh, man. Yep. Gets the smite. Does he kill him with the smite? Does he kill the blue buff smite? Not a bad start for Lee Sin, 2-2. What's he gonna do? He steals it, kills one. Is he gonna get the kill on the other? Yep. This is Jinx. No. I thought he was gonna get it. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Let's see what this person said. This comes from Reddit user Boffum. I had a glimpse of the real Wild Rift experience. Let's see, is it still trending? Yes, it is. Okay, still tracking. Exhausted by solo queue, I joined a 5-party through the looking group thing, and the magic happened. I stumbled upon 4 strangers from Plat to Diamond, each one playing their main position in champ. We fucking stomped everything in front of us for several games in a row. I was supporting, and I liked so much my ADC, I wanted to marry him. Okay, hey, nothing strange there. Few smart pings that everyone followed, priority on objectives, never chase, never flame. I mean, the perfect game, and oh my god, it was so fucking fun. And even if we lost, it would have been lots of fun anyway. I don't know if I'll be able to play solo queue again after I lived in Wild Rift Valhalla for a night. I am not sure I will ever play with them anymore, but my best experience in 3 months of Wild Rift, 10 years, a LOL PC, bless you. Team, you were great. I've had a couple games like that. Playing with a lot of you guys, you end up carrying me. Or when we have 5 people in group chat or voice chat, so much fun. It makes solo queue a different thing. But then again, at the same time, when I play with you guys, then I feel like if I don't perform well enough, then I just let you all down. Jarvan ultimate one shot for the pentakill. Let's rewind this back so we can see what's going on. Pause, play, fix, work, please. Okay, let's scroll past and scroll back up, see if it works. Come on, I want to see the Jarvan one-shot ultimate pentakill. There we go. Alright. Ramus starts by taunting everyone. Where's the Gwen? He's just baiting everybody. Ooh, that was nasty. The karma combo. Yeah, that was dope. That's dope. I love a good wombo combo. A lot of times I would pull this play and or I'd pull this play and then like use it in like a wombo combo Wednesday video if we could. Let's go and filter this by hot, new. Let's go with top, today, this week. Pentakill from both teams at the same time. This has got to be good. This Lee Sin's going in, so is this Yasuo. Oh, this Olaf's popping off in the background. So it's Lee Sin versus Olaf. Dude, this would be such a great video. Dude, that's dope. That is dope. Good game. Wow. I don't know if this is a serious post, but it says I hit master as a quadriplegic without movement in my hands. Hopefully it may be an inspiring post if it is real. So I guess we'll find out. Hello all. I remember you may remember me from this post back in the day. I just hit master rank without any function or movement in my hands and fingers. I'm a quadriplegic with injury to my fifth and sixth cervical vertebrae that left me paralyzed from the chest down. For the longest time, I put off playing because I was thinking I wouldn't be able to play to my potential. However, I can still move my wrist and my thumbs are stiff enough for me to poke my screen. So I decided to make it work the best I can. I mainly play ADC, Kaisa, Draven, Crit, blah blah blah. I played League on PC for years, so I have a good base knowledge, and honestly my micro is pretty clean for a cripple dude. I used to main support entirely, but swapped to main ADC when I became annoyed with the general lack of micro knowledge players my rank had. Okay, he's got proof here. I mean, I don't know if this is actual proof. Hopefully they're not lying about this. My imaginary edit vid. What's up, man? That is a long name. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome.
Welcome to the King's Court. Have a seat at the table and enjoy the show.
We need more lethality items on Wild Rift. What would you want to see? What items would you want to see? Ooh, this got a comment from Riot. Riot says, do you have any suggestions for how we can make the game easier for you to play with your physical limitations? It's incredible that you've made it to such a high skill level. We try to make the game accessible to a wide audience, but mobile devices present a lot of constraints. Would love to hear how we can do better often improvements here also translate to better experiences to wider audiences, so it's a win-win for everyone. This person responded, honestly, the game is incredibly well made. Controls are amazing. I have nothing bad to say. No suggestions. Thanks for the kind words and thanks for playing. Hey, that was really cool of you, Riot Employee. Keep up the good work. Good work indeed, Riot Employee. How to beat range.
Will always be stronger level 1, which is why
I gotta say, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, Strider is phenomenal. He always gets all these upvotes. I'm gonna upvote him just because he's Strider, but he always uploads quality content to this Reddit.
So the range champions will always be stronger level 1, which is why I ambushed this Singed and chased him down with range. He just failed the first rule, which is never take damage level 1 against range, because now I will never let him come close to the minions with this health disadvantage. And I do this by positioning aggressively to deny him from even...
This is what I talk about a lot with body language, like where he's positioning himself, Singed has to fall back here. Eclipse and Collector would be good. I have to look into those items. I've never actually seen them. I've never been an item guy. I've always just built like whatever the top 3 build was. It was always just play the game with whatever came the way. But like, because he did so much damage here, he has to play back. And a lot of people, they'll still play back here. But that you're wasting your potential right here because he's so low. If you just walk forward right here, anytime that he has to walk forward, especially being a melee champion, he cannot get to these minions. So you just block him off. And zone him out.
Minions. And when he tries to get to experience range using the bush to hide, it's an easy first blood. All because he didn't avoid me level 1. Now for a hard
that was a risky first blood, but see, this is scary, right? Singed, not so scary in this matchup. Renekton can be kind of scary because he can still get the Q damage to heal himself, especially if he gets to level 2, then he can stay on top of Lucian.
So I position aggressively to punish. The correct play would have been to get in the bush and move back and forth, so at most I could only get 1 attack.
Yep, so and also by Lucian queuing through this wave, he's artificially, well, he's not artificially, he's pushing this wave out.
And then once again, I know he will come close to get experience for this.
And then he's just going to position up here to trade onto him as he walks in for the gold.
I line up my attack. This minion doesn't die, so he comes again and takes 3 attacks, including true damage from the Kraken Slayer rune, which procs on every 3rd basic attack. I reset the minion aggro and then go back to positioning aggressively so I can punish him for attacking minions. This is where these matchups are lost, when the melee champ tries to attack the minions instead of just staying out of range. He takes his honey fruit, but I don't, just so I can keep applying pressure. Here he makes a decent move, he dashes in, spins for damage.
That's what I was talking about. Renekton can close that gap. If he was level 3, then Lucian could be in a lot of trouble here, because if Lucian does anything to take damage onto him, he's stunned underneath the tower.
Heal and backs away. This is something I always do at level 2 to last hit, heal and damage all at the same time. But now he has no dash for 17 seconds, so I can just poke without worrying about return damage.
You also have, at this point, have to worry about where is the enemy jungler, because we're so far forward that he could be anywhere. He could just sneak up on us at any time. Even if we saw him here, he'd still be able to close the gap on us before we could get back, so we'd definitely have to blow flash.
I realized my mistake early, and I exhausted
Yep,
just
right
in
there,
time to
right there.
reduce a lot of his damage, and then I chase him down with range. Here I know his next move, and knowing this,
He's gonna
I
flash
line up
for
my
it.
skill 1
Nope,
at the
okay,
right
cool.
time. The only reason this was close was because I hadn't taken my honey fruit, and also I took 2 tower shots.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about right there, was the fact that as soon as he hits level 3, he stuns him under tower, and he is
He lost the lane because
really,
he couldn't
really
give up a few minions
could be
until his
dead.
power spike at level 3, which I will show you when I play Renekton later on.
Matt, are you still doing magic, man?
Now I'll show you what happens when you do not take damage at level 1. I'm playing Renekton into Draven. This is a matchup I will never win at level 1. So look at how I constantly position just out of his attack range.
Yep, so you have to concede this lane, right? So with Draven being Draven, doing so much damage early, you have to concede this lane and lose gracefully, and it's okay because you are Renekton, you're such a great dueler, you'll be able to close distance eventually, probably around level 4, level 5, get positive trades back onto this Draven. You know, eventually you'll go all in. If you build tanky enough, then there's really nothing Draven can do to you.
The only reason I can last hit is because I get these tiny windows to walk up, because he has to walk back to catch his axe, and then I get out of range. I attack minions whenever he gives me a chance, which is nice because Renekton's passive, his Fury bar, only builds when Renekton attacks something. But even if I didn't get most of these last hits, I wouldn't be worried, because the most important thing is to save my health until I'm strong enough to fight back. And at level...
See, this is kind of scary, right? He goes in at level 2, probably on the cusp of no, he's nowhere near level 3, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions auto attacking him plus Draven's damage.
Level 2 here, I do that same trade that I showed before. Dash in, used my charged Fury for the empowered spin.
You know what?
Damage and heal. And
you know what though? He does not. He Qs him, so he doesn't hit him with a single target attack. So the minions don't aggro onto him. Genius.
If Renekton has 50% Fury, his next skill uses that Fury for an empowered ability. The empowered spin gives extra damage and heal, which is perfect for this short trade. Now I'm level 3, and this is my real power spike, and because I saved my health, I can easily fight him. Unlike the Renekton,
Yep, the positive trade, so good.
Too low to fight me at level 3, even after me taking tower shots.
Oh no, what happened? What happened?
So I dash through the minions to activate the second dash, use the empowered stun, which does a lot more damage than the empowered spin, then spin for damage and heal, one more basic attack, and then I walk forward a bit in order to dash back through him for the dash damage. I could have second dashed behind him for the kill, but he still has exhaust and I didn't know where his jungler was. But it doesn't matter because this extra cannon means I can now
He's frozen here, yeah.
to deny him all the minions. And I'll kill him if he overextends for them, which he does. I'll wait until he comes to attack and then dash onto him and keep chasing.
Level 4, level 5. Ignite.
He uses everything and flashes to his tower. And again, I decide not to take the risk. But he then tries to attack me during...
That's hard, right? Like, you see the 80 carry so low right here. You know you have flash, ignite. The restraint to know, hey, I'm too deep, I don't know where the enemy jungler is, let's pull out of this play.
my retreat, and as soon as he steps out of his tower, I flash back onto him.
Nice. Just walk away. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
So I easily won this lane because I saved my health. The minion loss hits were kind of irrelevant to winning the lane because I never got to spend that gold anyway. But the health I saved, I did get to use, and at the right time, during my level 3 power spike. When the health bars are equal, the melee champion will always beat the ranged champion in a fair fight.
This is something I talk about a lot. League of Legends, Wild Rift, it's a game of attrition. Whose resources are stronger than the others? Renekton's resources were much stronger than Draven's because Draven took the piss poor trade early and didn't actually go back to base to heal back up. He still would have lost the lane regardless, just because of the fact that Renekton's one of the best duelers in the game. However, in my opinion, Renekton probably didn't have to play so safely with the fact that he can Q through minions and heal himself. So, you know, LS talks about HP and MP being a lot of like a viable resource. So utilize all the resources you have before you can go back to base. Good job, Strider. Good job, Strider. Let's see the cleanest juke.
First turret destroyed.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. I think he flashed the wall. That was phenomenal. Never gonna find him. Good job, Cyan. Good job, Cyan. Let's go ahead and give that a thumbs up as well. And AP Malphite's Wet Dream. Oh my god, where are the pixels?
Ally slain.
It's just all the knockup, man.
You have slain an enemy.
Is this a Penta?
Quadra kill.
I wish there were more pixels, but we'll give it a upvote. We'll give it an upvote. Over 300 games for this moment. Let's rewind and let's see this. I love is it Irelia? Yeah, I love Irelia plays. Or is it Master Yi? Whose point of view on this? It's got to be Irelia. Two-man stun, okay. We're at the Nexus, okay. Yone's going in hard on the Nexus, so is Pike. Irelia goes in on Caitlyn. Irelia barely lives. Blade Surge, reset, Blade Surge. Oh, and she pops the W to finish it off for the triple kill. I wonder if Irelia is going to come in to face this Irelia down. Probably not. The video is over. Good job. Day 2 of playing Yuumi in duel mode. Let's... Now, Yuumi is an insane 1v1 dueler. People don't expect it, but that shield is insane. This music just makes me want to laugh, man. Just seeing this support bully out this Tryndamere too. The shield is insane. All that minion damage. Good game. Why am I getting deja vu? I don't know. Probably because Tryndamere is going to go back in. What is this? Oh my god. I've never seen this mode. Okay, that's cool. Let's go ahead and give this a thumbs up as well. Oh, this is Wild Rift Saved Me. This is from Luanity. I'm not exactly sure how to say this, so pardon me if I got it wrong. As the title says, Wild Rift saved me. September was one of the worst months of my life. I had to go back to my country for an entire month to do a surgery. Fortunately, it went well, so that's good to hear. But this means I had to live isolated from basically everyone for a month since I don't know anyone around here. and couldn't do much post operation. All my things are back at home, computer, friends, etc., and I only had my clothes and phone with me. If I didn't have Wild Rift to play and keep me company, I probably would have cracked down from the stress. I'm writing this as I finally go back to my home, so all is good now, but man, I'm so happy I had this game to at least keep me busy. That's good, man. Like, that is finding positive in dark moments is, you know, just like following that one little ray of light that cracks through the darkness and allows you to see where you need to go. You don't know where you're going, but you know that's safety. So good job. I'm glad you found something to keep you going. Why do people seem to... Let's see. Why do some people think that... This is from Random Donut. Why do some people think that doing poorly is grounds for a report? I see this pretty often. Our bot lane is getting stomped early on and our mid says report ADC or some other combination of roles. I get being frustrated that they're not winning, but I hate to break it to you, but not being good at the game isn't a reportable offense. They'll get their penalty when they lose games and drop rank. Why would people think that Riot would step in? There's always grieving players. Playing poorly is not necessarily a bad thing because, I mean, you get to a point where you climb until you get to that point where you can no longer climb. You hit that wall, and then you're going to probably play poorly in your next couple of matches until your elo evens out. I think Wild Rift does a pretty good job at managing elo. Obviously, some people are inflated, some people are hard stuck. A lot of it is luck based on your teammates. A lot of it is I don't know. But I don't think being bad at the game is a reportable offense. At least it shouldn't be. Why is this community so toxic from Have an Awesome Day? Okay, so this one's going to be good. First of all, I want to apologize to all the YouTubers that are trying to educate players. Now, here's the thing. I recently started uploading Wild Rift videos on YouTube, commentating over them, and I'm a legend in Challenger player on EU. I'm not going to link my channel because I'm not making this for self-promotion. When I upload videos how I win and show them exactly what I do to get the point of snowballing, I get the response, you only upload this to brag and show how you stomp the enemies. When I upload a video, I lose to explain when I could have done better. Damn, what a loser are you. Why are you even making videos? So here's my question. Why is this community so toxic? So I have been blessed with a really, really good community. But at the same time, I ask for the feedback. I ask for the criticism. So anyone who's been in my Discord knows that I will ask for the positives, the negatives. I stress over what I could do better, what I can make better for people. With that being said, I'd imagine there are just going to be people that are mad at you because you are doing something that they're not. You're actually trying to produce something, whereas people just kind of, I don't want to say they're leeches, but they don't do anything. Like, they just sit at home and complain all day. Don't let, I don't want to say haters, because you have to separate the actual critique and the criticism from just the shit posting comments. So take what's valuable that you can from the feedback and criticism, but the stuff that doesn't apply, throw it out. Just don't pay attention to it. Just lose all that stuff because it's not that important. People just hate to hate. I don't know if that's a European thing, but, you know, no hate to any content creators. I wonder if this person has anything posted here. Why is this community so toxic? Can we find this guy's YouTube channel through his posts? No, more options. Send a message, chat. Let's give him a follow. See what he does. All right, let's go back. Let's give it up. Do you guys like it if I make this kind of content? Oh, this is at least in. For those looking to power climb, full monkey support Nautilus. That is a long post. Let's skip that one, but we'll give it a foot. Pike the Walking ATM. Okay. All right, we missed a hook. No big deal. No big deal. That happens a lot to me. All right, we got the Gragas. Set hits him. We're going to get the big X. All right, we got an X. Lee Sin's coming in, taking a lot of damage onto Set. Doing a lot of damage. Just resetting, reset. Are we going to kill this Lee Sin too? Is that a pentakill? Yep, nice. And we make it out clean with no HP, baby. That's how they do it. Is this going to be a double pentakill? Interesting. He uses his ult to extend his stun. Okay. Interesting. Give it up vote. Do you want to play Yumi and Duma? No, we already saw that. We don't want to do math, but we'll give it an upvote for somebody trying. What broken shit are you... Okay, this is going to be good. I got to read this post. This is from Kazi ni Naru. What broken shit are you abusing that no one else knows about? Here's mine. Tristana turns into an enemy jungle camp stealing machine mid-game. She snowballs in gold faster than any other ADC because of her insane jungle clear and her ability to escape enemy jungle with W. Far too often I see Triss being played like a traditional ADC, farming only waves, and it breaks my heart. That makes sense. That makes sense because you can always get away unless you're stunned. So I could definitely see Tristana turning into a enemy jungle farmer because her W adds the AoE damage. So that'll definitely be good for you. And just the mobility with her. Her E. It's her E that does the AoE damage, the bomb, and her W for the mobility. I like Tristana. And a lot of people should really be utilizing the enemy jungle for farming resources anyway. Just don't overextend because you could die. As Blitzcrank, you time your hook when your ADC shot their attack to kill a minion so that the hook will fire while there's a blocking minion, but it will die before your hook reach it and go through and reach the back. Really good for early game, but it's all based on enemy positioning. For some reason, I get a lot of off guards with this, though I'm Emerald 1, so maybe the opponent's just lack of awareness on their minion's health. I hate Blitzcrank for this reason. Not necessarily that I'm good with him. I suck with Blitzcrank because I don't do stuff like this, but I always get hit with his hooks, and I have no idea why, and now I think I do. I'm a Grandmaster Cinnamon, and I do this all the time with her W. / mute all. This is it right here. We're going to give this one an upvote. So, map awareness. Okay, we're going to upvote this one too. What else is there? Keeping the enemy jungle warded as a mid assassin is surprisingly easy. Yeah, you can definitely roam a lot. Assassins typically have pretty good escape, like Fizz, Zed, all that good stuff, so you can definitely get out. Anti-heals is another good one. A lot of people play healing champions, so let's go ahead and bump that one up as well. Let's see what this is about. Got an Olaf, Mrs. Q. He's just taking no damage. He's just tanking this tower, and there's no... What is going on here? This is not cool. What is this? That is ridiculous. That is freaking ridiculous. Oh my god. Other junglers, it's so hard to be a jungler. Meanwhile, Olaf let me dive into the turret with only... Against 1v2 on my way back, destroy the damn turret as well. Dude, that was insane. A cool Yone outplay. Okay, we're just killing ourselves into Rammus. No big deal. We're just destroying Rammus. Okay, where's the outplay part? It's got to be coming. Can you rewind gameplays now? Okay. Are we going to get the Orianna? Oh, that was nice. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely an outplay. I mean, that was nice. That little end part right here where he knocks up. He moves through sets W and knocks him up. It was really nice. Really nice done. Nicely done. Let's give that up. Just me or game's incredibly one-sided nowadays. Let's see how long this is. Not too long. This is from Reading Price 2408. Matches are so feast or famine. Usually the winner can be determined at the 5-minute mark. Smurfs running rampant, little to no counterplay, and it being so hard to turn games around when there's not at least a 10-kill difference almost every game. Like, yeah, sure, stomping the crap out of the enemies is fun and all, but after a while it just feels cheap. There's no more rush of being neck and neck with the enemy team. No more heart-racing team fights. It's now just the thrill of acing the enemy in 2 seconds or dread of getting aced in 2 seconds. Is it really that hard to make games that have some at least semblance of equality? I would imagine this is pretty hard because there's always going to be different levels of skill with anybody that plays this game. With that being said, a lot of people pick champions that are going to do a lot of damage, really. Like, so there's no one going to pick tank Malphite and tank Braum and all this stuff to have these extended team fights because everybody wants to kill everybody. Maybe you'll get a Nasus, but like, when's the last time you've seen multiple tanks on a team? With that being said, a lot of your damage is just going to come out quick, and it's going to come out bursty, and as soon as someone dies, as soon as someone gets caught out, as soon as someone blows their ultimate, the other team's going to engage onto them, and it's just going to wipe it out. Like in gacha games, it's called like a speed cleave composition, where you're just faster than the opponent and you just AoE them all down. So a lot has to do with the champions that people pick and the balancing of the champions themselves, mixed with the skill level of the player, in my opinion. So I don't know if the game will ever go back to being neck and neck, because this is not League of Legends. This is Wild Rift. This is intended to be a fast game. I played a 26-minute game the other day, or yesterday, and it felt incredibly long. So Wild Rift is just not designed to be as slow-paced as League of Legends, so probably not. This is probably a better thing for this game, that it is quick-paced. Go up. Okay. Why is my chat not working? Okay, there we go. Just some knacky stuff for me is Jin support. I sent a screenshot in the Discord chat. That's Diamond 2. Let's see, where's the Discord chat at? Did you send it in general? Maybe it was the other day. I don't know where it's at. But yeah. Let's move on. Okay, AFK Orianna support guide. Oh, never mind. That's a thing to read. We'll give them the upvote for doing the work, though. That's a definitely thing to read. Repulse Enchant is, I don't know what that is. Repulse Enchant is the most underrated item in Wild Rift. Let's see why. Been buying this with Graves, and holy moly, it's so good. It not only stops Samira's ult, but it's basically a silence to channeled abilities. Also on Graves specifically, it's great. If you use it near a wall, the enemy will go towards the wall, and if you use your Q, it will hit them instantly. Extremely underrated item. Do you think Wild Rift added this item to counter Samira? Also, it works on Mundo, so if you want to take off his shield, this will work. Love getting it against Cat and Samira. Also, Yi, when he meditates, you can even time it against V's dash. Okay, so this just pushes people. Post-game screenshots. Let's see. Post-game screenshots. Where's that at? Where's that post-game screenshots? Did you just post it? There we go. Quite the competent support, if I do say so. 14, 2, and 10. Dude, your Jin's crazy. That's the problem. Your Jin's just cracked. Your Jin is cracked. So it seems like this is just to push people, like crowd control people, for people without crowd control. So Anything I shouldn't be able to... This is something that I have previously talked about when we had the what is that, Smurf, not the Smurf queue, but the badges for lower levels, or it was like the Smurf badge or whatever, the Smurf badge. This is from Spacey-kun. If I can't invite them to play in my ranked party, then I shouldn't be able to match with them. I'm only allowed to queue up with Diamond 2 and up in my current ranked masters, but I'm getting emeralds in my game. The sheer quality of ranked games in upper diamond and lower masters is atrocious. I only duo queue with my friend, and for 3 games in a row, I got 3 emeralds in my games, while my duo is Diamond 2 and I Masters. I proceed to play each game with each role, and emeralds were being outclassed significantly. No knock on emeralds, but all the reason there is different classifications of rank is to keep the skill level relative in these games. But even if it wasn't the case and Riot wanted to be a little more loose, then why can't you queue up with lower ranked people? I don't care about queue time, just makes the games good quality is all I ask. Keep it strictly on diamond players. So whenever we had that thing with what was it? The Smurf badge or whatever, we would see people come into like diamond as platinum players, sometimes gold. I remember playing with a silver support when I was climbing through platinum, and I really wanted to play with them because they were phenomenal. Like, if they would have just understood the game a little bit more, they would have been great mechanically. I added them as a friend, but I couldn't play with them because of the discrepancy in rank. So the fact that I couldn't play with them really was a letdown, to be honest. I hated that whole thing. I hated that whole time. So with that being said, I wonder what's on YouTube, if there's anything we can react to. Let's go check out Blue Potato. Let's check what's popping on Wild Rift. How I broke the meta with Ness is that's 22 minutes. Playing Yasuo with no fear, Wild Rift. Do we want to watch that? Too fear? We don't want to see that. Hells has got something new. Okay, let's see. 9 tips you need to know.
Look at this teammate putting a shroom down in this bush, just so conveniently where 1 HP Olaf is about to.
I feel like I know that voice.
Hello, fellow
anyway.
mobile and welcome back to another Rift Guides Wild Rift video. For today,
I like
we're gonna take a
Rift
look
Guides
at
a lot. I
best
think they make
tips
really
for the
good
and what you
content.
need to do to win more of your games. But before we hop into those tips, let's take a look at our question of the day.
Look at their
What
editing.
is your
They're
personal go-to tip?
Oh, Lord.
In the comments
Go
below.
back up.
For me, as a perspective, it will be the #1 tip in this video. You'll be surprised.
So they're
Let's
playing
get
on a tablet. You can tell by the aspect ratio. But instead of having the black bars to the side, they go and fill the editing in with a larger video, just blurred out. It just makes it look so much cleaner.
Dragon is worth less than you think. I know you already want to run me down, int me, hate me, do a Reddit post, and all those things.
Dragons
Me
aren't
just
worth
saying
dying
this.
for.
But listen, Dragon is worth less than you think. I'll tell you why now. Dragon is a scaling objective.
Yep.
The more you get of those, the stronger they become. But the first dragon, especially if it's just an ocean dragon, considering
Okay.
the weak laning phase or less valuable laning phase in Wild Rift, ocean dragon doesn't really do too much within that state, so it's not even that important. But people are still stuck on it.
Here's the thing, right? Ocean Dragon's all about replenishing your resources, like your mana. And that can have a huge effect on laning, but laning phase is partly over when Dragon's spawning. So you could argue to say, no, it doesn't have that big of an impact, but if laning phase is still going on, having the extra resources on your side from Dragon could definitely swing things in your favor. So I don't know how I feel about that specifically. Definitely dying or getting aced over the first dragon is definitely not worth it, because that's going to screw your whole tempo up. So yeah, maybe a death to try to secure it. Maybe the enemy, maybe your jungler goes in and tries to get the steal. But no, losing the tempo from losing a dragon fight And especially if the enemy team is able to capitalize and take the dragon afterwards, you're just going to screw yourself in the long run. So I can agree with that.
Their minds that dragons are absolutely broken, and in theory, they technically are once you get enough of them, because the stats they provide you with are so insanely overpowered that it's crazy. But don't forget, stats are just stats, and dragon is a team-wide stat. So if your support is, I don't know, little Timmy being very angry with his teammates, unknowing what to do, and is only a Yumi one trick. No hate against Yumi one tricks, just for reference.
I feel like I was being
What
attacked.
to do with the gold? It doesn't matter if he has the gold, because you didn't choose who got the gold as you could with the Herald. Therefore, for a solo queue environment, most of the time, in almost all circumstances, Herald will outperform Dragon because you can literally choose who gets the gold.
Yep.
And that is the most powerful thing you can imagine.
Okay.
Also,
Okay. Well, they didn't say it in this context, right? They didn't say Dragon is more Herald is, or Dragon is less important than Herald. They said dragons are worth less than you think. Yeah, for sure. I would definitely always prioritize Herald over the first dragon, just because having the ability to break a tower. So especially if Shin's able to break a tower right here. I don't know who he's going against, but that allows him to free roam the map. Or if TF can get his tower down, that gives him more room to work with the darkness to be able to ultimate to either side lane where the enemy has to guess where he's going. And it also adds pressure. Pressure and tempo are huge things that people don't really pay attention to in this game because you can't see them like gold stats or kills. But it's definitely a factor.
Dragon fights are messy. The more people involved, the crazier it becomes, and the harder it becomes for you to actually get the objective without dying. Because don't forget, losing a dragon isn't the problem, but your entire team dying for it, plus losing a dragon, plus then losing mid lane, bot lane, or the Baron lane, those things are the real problem.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and just to make sure that Yumi mains don't attack me now, I love cats, so you're all okay, don't worry.
You're
Next
forgiven.
thing on this list
You are
is
forgiven.
Demolish. Demolish as a rune is beyond broken for snowballing the game. Remember what I just said about Herald and snowballing and getting gold on the dedicated carry?
Okay.
With Demolish you can do so even better. Demolish as a rune is perfect, for example, for tanky supports, for very highly priority mid laners, for junglers, and for Baron laners. But for junglers, it's
Inting
the
Scion.
last rune you can ask for, and this is why. First, there's not really much competition for that rune within that tier. The other options don't provide as much as you can imagine.
Yep.
But with our lovely Demolish, we have the ability to take down towers after gank instantaneously. And
Garen with Hullbreaker and Demolish. That's a whole tower. Inting Scion.
Matchups. In many matchups, depending on the elo you're in, you'll see people slow push free waves into the enemy tower. With the cannon wave being the big minion that will chunk the tower for quite a lot and tank the tower for quite a lot of time, you will have a lot of time to proc your Demolish and zone the enemy off the tower. He is not allowed to play, and if he does play, he will most likely die, and then the tower bladings are gone. But with this in mind, if you do so in a duo environment with both people running Demolish, you will see how much gold you can get within one little gank. Don't let people fool you, Demolish is crazy.
Yeah, especially if you can break a tower. Like, if you can break a tower with Rift Herald or Demolish, and then gank the enemy champion, that'd be phenomenal.
Teammates are always randomized by the matchmaker, and you
Hold on,
have
let's go
no
back.
idea
Let's
who
go
you
back.
pick.
Let's
This
see
is
what
going
that
to be a
said.
hard one.
Don't waste time judging your teammates, assess their skill set, and play around it. This is that meme, the improvise and adapt, overcome Bear Grylls meme. But it's perfectly said, right? We could sit there and flame our teammates for being bad the whole game, but sometimes you have to utilize their weakness or their strengths of their champion. Like if the top laner's AP or tank Malphite or whatever, or the support's Malphite or something, yeah, they're going to be weaker in the game. Maybe they're not that good, but you can still rely on them to hit a ultimate in a grouped up team fight. So adapt your play style around that. A lot of people will take Shin, for example, because he's on the screen. A lot of people will come down here, gank bot lane or whatever. This allows Shin to utilize his ultimate to come down here. But if the enemy Shin is, or the Shin is ganked consistently, that means no one else can join the team fight like Shin can. So Shin's ultimate's reduced. I don't know if this is making any sense. I'm probably just rambling. But definitely knowing your teammates' strengths and weaknesses and playing around them can make a big difference. Chances are, if you have someone just shitting the bed, they're shitting the bed. There's nothing you can do about it.
Your
So
teammates
just move
will
on to the
play
next game.
towards your expectations. Your teammates are always randomized by the matchmaker, and you have no idea who you're playing with. All you can do is observe how they play within the game, and then adjust your gameplay according to that one. You don't want to be going for those flashy plays, expecting your random teammate to follow up on
That's
you
true.
when they have no idea what they're actually doing. That is going to lose you the game, even if you hit the perfect or pixel perfect engage.
And that's true. That's so true, right? It depends. If you were playing with a well-coordinated group of 5, saying, I'm going to go in, I'm going to go in, I'm going in, look, on voice chat, immensely different from just being in a random solo queue and hitting the best perfect Lee Sin insect in the whole world to knock up the 5 enemy team, and your teammates do nothing because they don't know what's going on. A lot of times that's why you have to utilize the ping system, say, hey, I'm going in. But massive difference. You can play a lot differently in a grouped environment on Discord than you can in solo queue.
What they're doing beforehand, and then do those plays. Otherwise, you'll just be very frustrated. The next thing we need to talk about is positioning in a general sense, or maybe in an objective sense. It depends on what you want to know the most. But we'll start with a general sense. Positioning refers to your placement on the map in relative distance to an enemy champion.
Okay.
That in mind, this can give you advantages for maybe dealing damage to the enemy champions, or them not being able to deal
Positioning allows you to win fights even when you are behind in gold. How far behind? Because you can have the best positioning in the world, but if your items aren't there to back it up, then, I mean, I'm not sure if having great positioning will overcome the deficit in gold and statistics that items give you.
damage to the enemy champions, or them not being able to deal damage to you. So let's just imagine you have a tanky champion in front of you who blocks an enemy hook. Therefore, it's now irrelevant that the enemy has a hook because your ally is blocking the direct trajectory of that said hook, which allows you then to deal DPS when you're, for example, a carry. And this is something you have to use as a concept and apply to everything else. So, another thing you can do with this in an objective sense is, for example, think about the champions you're playing. Let's just imagine you're playing Seraphine.
Okay.
Seraphine is standing close to the dragon and is looking at the enemy jungle's entrance.
Yep.
The entire enemy team is now funneling through that entrance, and Seraphine has a primary, perfect, amazing opportunity to use her ultimate ability right into the heart of the enemy's team.
Okay.
With that done, she is able to hit all her spells on all of the enemy champions, which then allows her team to completely clean up. In a realistic environment, for example in mid lane, this is very hard to accomplish, but if you know exactly where the enemy is coming from, thanks to vision and overall game sense, then this becomes super easy to reproduce in most of your games. Going from that concept of hitting like some kind of insane combo, we move over to cooldowns being vital. Now let's imagine a Seraphine having no ultimate and no ability ready to do what I just told you.
Yeah, then she can't do
the
it.
enemy is now able to just funnel through that choke.
A Malphite without an ultimate isn't really a threat, is he? No, not really. Not really.
And have no problems approaching, because in this instance, cooldowns are very vital towards a teamfight success.
Their editing is so good.
Spells,
They pay their editor well.
The enemy can be aware of that and punish you for that. This is something you always have to keep in mind. When the enemy team has specific champions, you have to track those cooldowns in order to play properly around it. Because if you have no idea what they have, you'll be surprised and caught off guard many times. You need to know what is possible, and you need to know their cooldowns.
The bad part, right, is it's easy to do, like, easy to say in Discord, right? If you're in a group chat or on a voice call or using Wild Rift's built-in voice system, say, all right, AP Malphite's ultimate's down. Seraphine's ultimate's down. Jace's ultimate's down. Samir's ultimate's down. Easy to say that. However, tracking that stuff in-game is going to be a lot more difficult because the UI isn't like League of Legends where you have all the fluid controls to be able to tab over and then ping something really easily. You gotta pull the thing up, click the thing, drag up or drag down, whether you want to flash, talk about flash, their summoner skills, their ultimate. So it's not as intuitive to be able to track in this game unless you're on voice chat. So I feel like a lot of this is geared towards people who are communicating on comms.
Maximum potential, if that is what you want to achieve. Oh boy. The next one is going to hit me with some hate again. Okay guys, listen. Your jungler isn't at fault when you lose 1v1. It's your fault. It's always your fault. And it will be
Unless there's something I don't know, because Samira just pinged the shit out of Echo's ultimate, but she probably had the screen up. So that blocks half your vision. So.
Yeah. Okay guys, listen. Your jungler isn't at fault when you lose 1v1. It's...
That's a lie. The jungler is always at fault when you lose a 1v1. They should have been there to make it a 2v1.
Your fault. It's always your fault and will be always your fault. The next thing within that kind of sentiment is, if you get ganked by a Lee Sin level 2, it's your fault.
If you get ganked by a Lee Sin level 2, it's your fault. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about that? If we get ganked, it's our fault. Yes and no, because chances are if Lee Sin's looking to gank, level 2 is going to be an obvious point, because that's when he's strong, right? He's got his Q at that point, probably his third skill. So he's definitely going to be able to gank you. Does that mean it's our fault? No. If we're overextended, is it our fault? Yes. But you can never predict where the enemy champion is going to be, so you can't really say that it's your fault.
It doesn't have to do anything with your jungle. Your jungle most likely can't match a level 2 gank, and he shouldn't match it because it's bad, it's terrible, it's coin flip, because you could have known if you placed a ward. You need to be very much aware of what is happening around you, and you need to take responsibility for
Yeah, it's
it.
definitely not your
If you
jungler's
die to
fault,
your
but I
jungle
can't
gank,
say it's your
it's
fault either
at fault
if
not
Lee
your
Sin
jungler.
ganks you.
You'll be at fault that your jungler won't be able to play because the enemy will now push your mid wave, invade your jungle, and there's just nothing you can do. It's really annoying if that happens, but well, if you want to
You know what?
it, most likely just
You know why he's saying all this? It's because he's playing Jungle Echo. I'm willing to bet it's him in this video playing Jungle Echo. He's probably a jungler. So this is definitely bias. I feel bias here. So this whole thing is negated. It's 100% your jungler's fault if you die, and it is your jungler's fault if they don't match a Lee Sin gank.
Lee Sin. That way you get around it more easily. Another point I have to make is that meta isn't always the answer if you can't pilot the champion. It doesn't mean
That's fair.
matter if you pick up the strongest champion in the game if you literally cannot play it.
Irelia was cracked, but she's so hard to
If you
play.
want to do so, you should practice so in a normal mode and then bring the champions into ranked a little bit later. But if you enjoy a specific champion and you enjoy the champion super much, you can still play it. Even if it's Kale, but don't hold me accountable for it because I could never, with a healthy mind, give positive advice about Kale, because Kale, I'm sorry Kale mains, I love you, but Kale isn't a champion, and the only reason why Kale's win rate is so high is because people are not capable of actually killing her in lane when it's so unbelievably easy to just demolish her. But that's something for me.
You know what? This is not true. This is not true. Kale is a fucking bully, and people don't realize that. She is an absolute bully to melee champions, even assassins. So whenever I would play Irelia into Kale, I would lose consistently because she could outpoke me. I would go in for a trade and she would heal through the trade damage, so she could just spam heals and out sustain. So I played that matchup with a Kali into Kale and was the same exact issue. So Kale is viable, okay? Kale is 100% viable. She's a freaking bully.
Another thing we need to tackle is avoiding result-oriented thinking. Just because something happened to work out doesn't mean it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. And this is a lifelong argument. If something's stupid but it works, is it stupid? Just because you make a bad play and it turns out with a positive result doesn't mean it's good play. You have to fundamentally be able to understand the difference between a good play and a bad play. If you just so happen to engage into 5 people and somehow managed to escape, but this allows your team to that was 2 screens away to come to the fight and be able to join the fight and win because they blew all the ultimates down on you. Definitely dumb idea, dumb decision, bad play. Don't do it because you had no follow-up. You just happened to get lucky. But that winning that trade or that duel or that fight reinforces a bad... It positively reinforces a negative play. It was a bad play. It's not good. So just because it worked doesn't mean that it has to be good. Review it.
Yourself and
Good point.
look at what has happened and think about, okay, how many times in the future could this happen in the same way, and if it happens in the same way, will my play be the difference maker, or is the enemy just at fault for not pressing keys?
Yep.
Don't forget, it can happen all the time. You go for the worst play possible, but the enemy just, I don't know, has a mental disconnect and doesn't play, and then you win. The next time you think, well, I just won last time, I'll just do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And then you're stuck in pain, agony, and everything else you don't want. So please don't do it. Now comes the last and probably most important advice for Baron laners.
Alright, listen to
Don't
this.
try blind picking vulnerable champions. Trade with your teammates that want to play super strong champions early on and go for the best possible matchup you can.
Matchup determines more than you think. A good matchup lets you instantly win if you are able to play it to its limits. I'm gonna go back because he's got the accent, so
The last and probably most important advice for Baron laners. Don't try blind picking vulnerable champions. Trade with
Vulnerable
your teammates that want to
champions.
play super strong champions early on and go for the best possible matchup you can get. With a good matchup, you can snowball the game easier than with anything else. And if you want, we can do another series on best blind pickable champions, so you have an idea what you can do without really
Garen.
caring what.
If you're gonna pick top lane champions, best blind pick champion, Garen, 100%, hands down. Maybe Wukong. Set's pretty strong. Top lane Jhin for Meh because he's cracked on Jhin.
So as a little piece of advice here, try blind picking Yone. Yone is a champion that's so broken, you'll always have a great time playing him. So please lock him in when you can, unless he's banned, which happens like 99.9% of the times. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and if you want more Rift Guides content, leave a like, hit the bell, and come back for more. See you tomorrow, soon, and maybe even the day after.
Oh no, go back to the video. 'Cause
Hello, fellow
we wanted to
robot.
give them a thumbs up. That was pretty good. Okay. So, guess we're going on an hour, so I'll probably log off here, do some grinding on another game, and then come back a little bit later with this stream while people are awake in America, because it's still pretty early. So appreciate you guys hanging around. Let me know if this is something that you guys want to see more of, like just reactions or talking over this. Just let me know. Thank you guys. Imaginary